Now, another question about communicating with the dead is it telepathically too, right? Could the spirit of the person deceased, right, be communicating with the child, somehow, right, through a telepathic link with the dead, right? Now, the witch of Endor may have actually called up Samuel himself, right? Two in the Bible, right?
My dad asked me one day, why do you sign it James 3? And I just turned to him and simply said, because I'm the third James. I was the junior. And then one day, my father asked me the name of the ship that I was on. I said, Natoma.
After doing some research...
Now, they verified this too, right. But I think it's some kind of communication with the dead, yeah. But the person's spirit is still communicating, right, with the boy, yeah. But the spirit is no longer in the body, so it's free and floating around, right, or something, right? Now, energy cannot be destroyed. Again, whatever the life force is within us is similar to electricity, right?
When he was shot down over the island of
Now, same with the Dalai Lama, right? His spirit of the past on Dalai Lama, his body, like all bodies, goes back to the dust from which it came. And that's how Elijah and John are tied together too. The spirit of Elijah can be what's guiding John, right? Do you understand? It's a form of reincarnation too, right? Right, from heaven. But Elijah is in heaven still too, right? Does it mean the personage of Elijah is going to come back? Maybe during the millennial reign, but until then, right. Not fully. In part.
Loud banging.
But like I told you, right? He is describing life and death, believe it or not, right? But the spirit must be, for some reason, the boy is open to it when he was a child, right? Maybe it's a coincidence of, most kids like toy airplanes anyway, or something like that, right? But if no one interferes with it, right? The telepathy, okay, you can't see the spirit, right? Once it's dead, right? It could even be around the boy and he's picking up on it. Because, see, the spirit, once it leaves the body, is a disembodied spirit, like in even Harry Potter, right? So, you can't see it with your naked eye, right? No one can see the spirit and live, right? Because if you see it, you're dead, right? It left the body, right? When Jesus said, Father, into my hands I commit my spirit, and Eli, lama sabachthani, it means the spirit was about to leave the body, God was about to forsake the form of Christ, right? And leave it, right? Hello, right? Told you this before, right?
Basic idea of reincarnation is upon your death, your soul departs your body, you go to your version of heaven, and then you come down into a new body. An easy way to understand this is that you...
But some would call it demon possession in a way, right. But the thing is, it's just giving the boy his past life too, right? I mean, it's not like it's trying to make him who he was, right? But it might, again, be how some people like Tesla or even
to the very beginning of Egyptian civilization.
People like this, right, communicate with something you can't see mentally, which is telepathy with it, right?
He's the Turin King list.
Do you understand, right?
Which dates back to to the 13th century BC. The papyrus includes a list detailing the ancient.
So call it whatever you want. Communication with the dead, telepathy with the dead, reincarnation of the dead, because the spirit cannot be destroyed, right? Even the neutron bomb, right, can't really destroy the spirit, right? Though it attempts to remove it from the body and evaporate the body, yeah, it can do that, right? And leave the clothes behind even, right? Like the Christians say, or you be driving in your car and then you're gone, right? But it's a weapon too, Christians, right? See, that's not normal. And that's not something you really want to go through, right? Either, but there again, if you're raptured, I guess you're better off than those left behind. I'm not saying you're wrong there either, right?
Osiris was depicted as a human like God. He had human features.
But green.
But one of the curious things about Osiris is that he was shown with green skin.
Oh!
Osiris is thought to have come from the star.
Green-eyed man with green skin.
Extraterrestrials.
Some are blue. I'm blue. Blue man group. But green man group too, huh? Right.
Egyptian mythology.
But like I told you, you're ignorant because you don't study to show yourself approved unto God, right? And the biggest problem is Satan can communicate with you from the dead too. Uh-oh. Oh, forget that one too, huh? Right. He was here too, stupid. He was in Eden, the garden of God. How many times does the Bible have to tell you that, right? It don't tell you that just once. He also goes to and through the earth seeking whom he may devour, right? Said Peter, right? Even Peter himself was warned by Jesus. Satan wants to sift you as wheat, Peter. Uh-oh. There's things Peter couldn't handle, right? That we got to figure out on our own now because he didn't write it down, right? He feared the book burning and stuff too, right? And so he at least left us enough that we can piece it together, but then we don't want to sometimes, following the doctrine of being instead of God, right? Reading the Bible on your own, right? Well, that's what Paul did too, right? For 3 years, where is he? Studying the Torah, right? And the Old and the prophets. That's all they had. One of the first Gospels written was Mark, and that wasn't written within 10 years of Jesus or so, but still, that was before and after Paul too, right? Paul was converted within a short time after Jesus' crucifixion, but still in the book of Acts, right? It was still before the first gospel was written, and by a certain time, he was also writing his letters back and forth to the church, and they were writing to him too, right? Now, when I write a letter to someone, and you read his half, but not my half, that's still what? Half the information, right? Okay, and he's responding to them, but what is he really saying lukewarmly? If you let him marry, fine. If you don't, fine, right? I mean, what do you want me to tell you? Force your children to marry or not marry, right? Read the whole thing. When you read sections of it, because you like what it's saying, like, render due benevolence to your wife, and likewise the wife to her husband, right? Well, you might like that part. I bet, right? But it says more than that, too. Also says, come apart, though, to pray and fast sometimes, right? Do you do that? Probably not as much as you should, right? Or do you divorce, or do you go after other poutine, right? I bet. Though you're forgiven, right? Any sin. It's only one unpardonable sin, and that's blasphemy of the Holy Ghost, right? But that's something complete, right? And not partially, right? If you do it, you're about to die anyway. Like, Satan will be the last thing you do, right? But he went down into the grave. That's suggestive of he had a choice, but instead of staying alive, he went down into the grave, right? Himself personally, right? The tree of knowledge. Instead of dealing with what he did with Adam and Eve in Eden, cut off his boobs, went to the sea and drowned himself in the sea, right? That's what it's talking about. That's what Ezekiel is describing, his death, right? 6,000 years ago after the fall, right? And if Satan, the second in command, dies, what happens to the rest of us? We die with him. We die with him. Why? Because he tied us into him sexually, right? DNA exchange between him and Adam and Eve, period. Even if he didn't get Eve pregnant, which some people are being crazy about. Cain is acting like his father, the devil, right? And so are some people still acting like their father, the devil. Jesus said that it describes the Pharisees, right? And Sadducees and chief priests, and lawyers. They're not getting it. They're blinding themselves to the truth and leading people astray. And the blind are leading the blind, right? And they're both falling into the pit. No offense to Stevie Wonder. But Stevie, right? They're shooting me in the right eye, brother. And I'm healing up the ring. I know. Not until recently it wasn't like this. There wasn't. Not even when I was at the other place and taking the medication. Not until I got here the bloodshot eye started, right? Mm-hmm. And that was still 2017 when Thomas Parby being there, right? It started doing that. Oh, shit. And I told him, you keep doing it, one day I'm going to take it from you and stick it up your butt, and you're still feeling good. I can't want you. You can't do that anymore, right? I'm confronting him about it, right? I know it's him, right? He's the only one who has the gun, right? Like that. And we conceal it and try to use it on me. And I told you his van was in the car the same day as the interference with the girl, right? But what he don't realize is I asked her age, see. That means entrapment if I ask her age and she lies about her age at 37, right? See, it's an Asian girl, dummy. Asian girls can look 37 or 15. Ask Michelle Kwan. Ask any actress under 60, right? Or 50 even, can look like they're still young ladies, right? Especially Asian women, right? Now, maybe as they get to 70 or 80, right, you might can see a little age. Even Connie Chung, who was dealing with Barbara Walters passing away recently, right, still looks good for her age, silly. Right. Though she adopted like Barbara, but whatever. I guess. But the point isn't about you, kind of. You're not concerned with the things of God. I am. Okay, I'm here to tell you something nobody wants to hear anymore, including I'll be dealing with the alien situation, right? Which means they're either bad aliens or good, right? Mm-hmm. Now, they also take you how you take them. Eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth suggests that, right? If you treat me like an enemy, well, I'm not going to be too friendly to you before I even get there, right? But if you treat me friendly, I'm going to treat you friendly, usually, right? Up front. But they're not doing nothing to harm us. In fact, by stealing their technology, we're harming ourselves, right? We don't know what we're doing with that crap and how to really use it, right? It's vanity and just Satan's favorite sin, right? See, it's not a gift, it's an accident. They crashed, stupid, right? But if they crashed, right, what does that mean? They couldn't fly their own saucer, huh? So, why you want to try and fly it yourself? Maybe that's a sign not to do that yourself, right? Not to. But of course, there are, since Roswell, reported sightings of UFO, but are they our attempt to engineer it or what? Or what? See again, right? People are seeing all kinds of things, but is it myth or real, right? You know, again, right? This is part of history, even with Ezekiel and the will within the will and the cherubims and all that. Well, each cherub has 4 wings and they're attached to each one, and they're carrying around this will within the will and all that, and it's on God, right? Though it's like the ark, but it's double the wings, right? And then the seraphims have 6 wings, and then, right? Yet they're wearing garments, I think, right? No, a disembodied spirit, right? Of a woman from that time is communicating with her, right? Don't that make more sense, right? It is a form of reincarnation or communication with the dead, whatever you want to call it, right?
The keeper of the Temple of Seti. It's really interesting because she was one of very few.
Because I'm choking sometimes on my own saliva, idiot. I'm not coughing,
I can translate. I can try to read, but she could speak it.
Sometimes your spit goes into your chest, right? I mean, your lungs, right? It's like I'm coughing up water, and right.
And most thought she was.
Do I have to do that too sometimes with you? But see, if you bring me a pretty girl and she gets into the house, that's a given, right? I can get her safely into the house if she's by herself. But once she's in, I'm going to ask her the appropriate questions. Who are you? What's your name? Where are you from? How old are you?
Very clear.
Those questions validate me waiting for a woman who's old enough to be with me. I know it does. You can't set me up with an underage girl yourself, or you're kidnapping her to get her to be with me. That's a felony. I know. You're taking an underage girl and trying to talk her into having sex with me, right? That's called what? Corruption of a minor. I'm not corrupting her. I'm telling her wait till you're 16 and then we're legal. Nothing's wrong with that, right? You're not doing that, I know. You would also have to kidnap her if she's under 16 and get her to come to me. Or steal her parents' car. That's grand theft auto even if she's 15, right? You know that, right? If she's underage, she can't drive to my house and act like she's an adult because she's not yet. And if she don't have her driver's license properly, right? And just a permit, she needs an adult to drive with her, which you're stealing the car yourself with the girl. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And kidnapping her from her home, right? Trying to talk her into having sex with me. Do you understand why that's illegal? For you, not me. Right? I'm home alone, right? No one's in this house but me, I know. And even if she does knock on the door, right? Anyone, right? I'm trying to discern what the hell's going on even, right? And I'm communicating properly as I know how to when she's in the house. But then I'm going to be worried you're trying to shoot me and I'm going to let her come in and I'm going to hide behind the door or something. And also make sure you're not running up on her either, right? Because I know you can do that too, right? As I'm letting her in or something, right? I'm not done, but I'm not trying to have sex with her. But see, that's the point about a lie, right? You mean I know she's lying, but how'd she get there while she taking advantage of me? And she can't lie to me either, right? See, that's what you're forgetting about this little body brook we're having here, right? She can't lie to me that she's 16 because I can be with a 16-year-old if she's not 16, right? Nor do I have a reason to suspect her, right? I told you I have one night stands before all this. It doesn't mean you can't, right? Still, all it means is the girl has to be 16 or older in Georgia, right? I don't make the rules. I just have to play by them like you do, right? But if you're lying to her, you're setting it up. That's corrupting her, not me. I'm not telling her to do that. I don't know if she's really 16 or not. I don't know. And if she drives up in the car, or even if she walks from the neighborhood and says, I'm 16, I just walked over from my house, right? That's not wrong either. That's not wrong either. I don't know if she's not 16 or can't drive her car yet or don't have a car yet. You understand, right? That's all she has to do, though, is be 16, right? You understand? Consent, like Paul said, and being of age, like Paul said, are both in that chapter, right? If you're not reading the whole thing, you're not getting it. I know. It's going way over your head, right? Why do you think they have an age of consent, right? And it's regardless of the parent, too, right? Like I said, if that day I met a girl and we had sex, it's legal sex, right? No matter what. Because I was only 16 myself, right? Now, if I turned 17 and say she was 15, right? That's different too, but, right? It's still not more than a year or two apart, right? Now, is when I'm 18, if she's 16, that's still legal, right? Right. But if she's, say, 14 or 15, I can't be with her at all, right? Wouldn't even try that, right? That's what I mean. That's how the law works, right? Now, if I do meet a 14-year-old, though, can I kiss her? Would that be legal? Yeah. Can I do oral on her there? But not have sex? Can I? It depends on that, right? But I don't, right? At all. Don't even tip me, right? I'm not trying to do that either. I'm home alone, right? Trying to wait for a woman to show me attention really during the day like the ones in the past, right? Did. And stay with me. Even Teresa, though, whatever's going on with her and Nina, right? Slowly moves into the apartment, and I met her first, so right, she gotta have first dibs there, but Nina could be having sex with me, and not Teresa, because I'm not into her. But because of Teresa being around Nina, she can knock me out after you leave, right? You understand? Right there. Because I'm not doing nothing wrong in being with you, but you still have a man, and I'm trying to help you get him out of jail, and then, right, your son's there, and again, right, you have to leave him with Teresa or something, right? And again, right, go for a walk at night, and then I don't know, right, because Teresa can follow you after you get back and go back to sleep and know you went down to my house, and then like, yeah, we argue about it. But she can't kill me either outside of Jerusalem, right? You're of age too, right? Right. That's the point too, right? But I way prefer you over Teresa, and you know that if you did do it. I don't know. Of course, your husband or your boyfriend or your fiance or whatever he is in jail, and we're trying to get him out of jail too, right? And I'm trying to help you do that too, right? Now, the thing is, I don't remember sleeping with you, so I'm just treating it like Teresa's that we're friends, right? And I'm just helping you out, right? So I can't say, though, if Teresa blacked me out or not, if we did something or not. Hypothetically, though, too, right? The evil one shall not live again, right? But he does and he don't. He is and he is not, right? He was, is, but is not, right? When does he die? When he goes down to the sea, right? And from that point on, we all die with him, right? Until he is again and is not again, right? But Jesus is, was, and is to come. Why? He's fully aware of who he is every time he comes into flesh, right? Even if it's at the end of this millennial, before the millennial reign, right? And the millennial reign is to bring us to the following week, right? Where you can start it all again, right? If by the millennial reign, which is 8 days to the Lord, right? Or 8,000 years, right? From the fall, too, right? That's 7 days, which is the first day we sit on, right? 6 days after, which is the 5th day now to the 6th day. One more day is 8 days, right? 8,000 years, right? So what's 8 and 6? 14. 2 weeks, right? To the Lord. We keep making him replenish the earth over and over again. So, do you understand, right? Give or take a few hundred years. We don't know that day or hour of his return, but it has to be after 25, you know what I mean? But before 3,000, right? That's all we can tell you, right? And that's just counting, Perry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is a week, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is a week again, right? And that's 2 weeks, right? And again, they think the world is older, so do you. And when you build upon something layer by layer, dust by dust, mantle by mantle, it gets bigger. He called it the Earth's birth pains, right? So if we destroy it again, what'll happen again? Another layer of sediment. We'll sin around the same time again and go through all the same stuff again, right? Because we won't follow Jesus over Satan, right? When given the choice in Eden, and if Adam and Eve always sin, they always sin. They don't have a choice, right? Because they're naive that they don't have to ask the tree which tree it is they supposed to eat of, right? There's 2 trees. One you can eat of, one you can't. One will cause your death, one won't. They eat the one that will cause their death, so they die, right? And we're in a loop when you do that, right? You go through it over and over and over again. Rebirth, not just rebirth and reincarnation, but replenishing means refilling with everyone, past, present, and future as well. Mm-hmm. Except you're ignorant of it, but few people, right? Enoch's one, Elijah's one, Jesus is one, and I'm one, right? And whether you like it or not, I'm just here to tell you what they won't tell you. Believe it or not. Bye-bye.